The real reason. Nazi officers fled to Argentina after World War II.
As World War II drew to a close in 1945, the world watched in horror as the true extent of Nazi atrocities came to light. The Allies, having won the war, were intent on bringing the architects of these crimes to justice. However, many high-ranking Nazi officials, scientists, and military officers managed to evade capture, disappearing from Europe and re-emerging in countries far from the reach of Allied powers. Among the most notorious destinations for these fugitives was Argentina, a country that would become a haven for some of the most wanted men in the world. But why did so many Nazi officers choose Argentina as their refuge? The answer lies in a complex web of geopolitical strategy, opportunism, and ideological alignment. The flight of Nazi officers to Argentina began as the war was coming to an end. The collapse of Nazi Germany was imminent by April 1945. Adolf Hitler had committed suicide, Berlin was in ruins, and the Red Army was closing in on the remnants of the Third Reich. The realization that defeat was inevitable prompted many top Nazi officials to seek refuge, not just from the Allies, but also from the inevitable retribution that would follow the fall of the regime. Argentina, under the rule of President Juan Domingo Perón, emerged as a prime destination for these fugitives. Perón's Argentina was a peculiar blend of fascism, nationalism, and authoritarianism. Perón himself had been heavily influenced by fascist Italy and Nazi Germany, which he had visited during his military career. He admired the organizational efficiency and authoritarian control exercised by these regimes, and sought to implement similar policies in Argentina. Perón's sympathies towards the Axis powers were no secret, and he saw an opportunity in the post-war chaos to align Argentina more closely with these ideologies. However, his motivations were not purely ideological. Perón also recognized the strategic and economic benefits of harboring Nazi fugitives. One of the most compelling reasons Nazi officers fled to Argentina was the promise of protection and the ability to start anew. Unlike in Europe, where the Allied forces were conducting widespread purges and trials of Nazi collaborators, Argentina offered a safe haven far removed from the immediate reach of Allied justice. Perón's government was more than willing to accept these men, who brought with them not only expertise in various fields, but also significant financial resources, much of which had been looted during the war. This influx of wealth and knowledge was seen by Perón as a means to bolster Argentina's economy and military capabilities. The escape routes used by these Nazis, often referred to as ratlines, were intricate networks that facilitated the movement of fugitives from Europe to South America. These ratlines were supported by a range of collaborators, including sympathetic officials, the Catholic Church, and various underground networks. Many high-ranking Nazis used these routes to evade capture, often obtaining false documents that allowed them to travel under assumed identities. The most famous of these ratlines was the one that led directly from the Vatican to Argentina, with the help of figures like Bishop Alois Hudal, a known Nazi sympathizer who played a crucial role in securing safe passage for many war criminals. Once in Argentina, these Nazis were able to integrate into society with relative ease. The Argentine government, eager to leverage their skills and knowledge, often provided them with jobs, housing, and new identities. Some of the most notorious figures who escaped to Argentina included Adolf Eichmann, one of the principal architects of the Holocaust, Josef Mengele, the infamous doctor of Auschwitz, and Erich Priebke, a Gestapo officer responsible for the Ardeatine massacre in Rome. These men lived for years, often decades, under assumed identities, blending into Argentine society while continuing to hold on to their fascist beliefs. The reasons for Argentina's willingness to harbor these fugitives were multifaceted. For Perón, the presence of these individuals served multiple purposes. First, it reinforced Argentina's position as a potential leader in a post-war world that was increasingly divided between the United States and the Soviet Union. By offering refuge to Nazi officials, Perón was signaling Argentina's defiance of the New World Order imposed by the Allied powers. He saw Argentina as a potential counterbalance to American and Soviet influence in Latin America, and the presence of these Nazis bolstered his regime's ideological stance. Second, Perón believed that the expertise of these former Nazis could be used to modernize Argentina's military and industrial capabilities. Many of the Nazis who fled to Argentina were scientists, engineers, and military strategists who had played key roles in the war. Their knowledge was invaluable, and Perón was eager to harness it to strengthen Argentina's position in the region. This was similar to the United States Operation Paperclip, which saw the recruitment of former Nazi scientists, including Werner von Braun, to work on American military and space programs. However, the presence of these Nazi fugitives in Argentina was not without controversy. While Perón's government actively facilitated their entry and integration, there was also significant opposition within Argentina and from the international community. The Allies, particularly the United States and Israel, were deeply concerned about the potential for Argentina to become a safe haven for war criminals. The Argentine Jewish community, one of the largest in Latin America, was particularly alarmed by the influx of Nazis, fearing that their presence would lead to an increase in anti-Semitic sentiments and actions. The capture of Adolf Eichmann in 1960 by Israeli Mossad agents brought the issue of Nazi fugitives in Argentina to the forefront of international attention. Eichmann had been living in Buenos Aires under the alias Ricardo Clement, working as a foreman at a Mercedes-Benz factory. His abduction and subsequent trial in Israel exposed the extent to which Argentina had become a refuge for Nazi war criminals. The incident strained relations between Argentina and Israel, as well as with other Western nations, and led to increased scrutiny of Argentina's role in harboring these individuals. Despite the controversy, many Nazis continued to live out their lives in relative peace in Argentina. Josef Mengele, for example, evaded capture for decades, moving between Argentina, Paraguay, and Brazil. He died in 1979, having never faced justice for his crimes. Similarly, Erich Priebke lived openly in Bariloche, Argentina, for years before being extradited to Italy in 1995 to stand trial for his role in the Ardeatine massacre. The reasons why Nazi officers fled to Argentina after World War II are a testament to the complex interplay of ideology, opportunism, and international politics that characterized the post-war period. Argentina, under Perón, provided a sanctuary for these fugitives, motivated by a mix of ideological sympathy, strategic considerations, and the desire to bolster national power. The legacy of this dark chapter in history continues to resonate, as the pursuit of justice for the crimes of the Holocaust remains an ongoing challenge. The story of the Nazis in Argentina serves as a reminder of the enduring impact of the war and the lengths to which individuals and nations will go to protect their interests, even in the face of overwhelming moral imperatives.